Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your November reading. And I pulled from the Talisman Oracle, Safe Travel. And you might notice there's so many glaring lights. I'll try to hold this so that you can see the images without the glare. You are on a journey into the unknown. You are in search of new or expanded understanding of yourself, others, nature, or a higher good. This experience opens your mind and lets you see a part of the puzzle you never knew existed. This card can mean it's time to take a pilgrimage, travel abroad, or an inner journey of introspection. This act of great importance in knowing who you are and the meanings you're looking for. This card can also mean a metaphorical journey into your own beliefs. It might be a time to discover the constraints of your limiting thoughts. The Arctic Tern, a wise and experienced traveler, will guide you towards the shore. Imagine your soul lifting up from your body and being free to fly. Beautiful energy. And that leads us to your overall energy card, Justice. It's interesting because there's a sense here of having released a tremendous burden. And that release is allowing the scales to balance. You finding that peace, that harmony within, as you release perhaps a sense of a burdensome expectation, a set of perceptions that others held about you that aren't true, the oppression or imposition of inaccurate actions, beliefs attributed to you. This feels like you're throwing off the expectations or perceptions of others in general, and that can, in fact, have alleviated the sense of burden, allowing you to feel lifted, to feel balanced, to feel peaceful and harmonious, and to recognize a kind of justice that you're now experiencing internally, a sense that you have built and reaped what you have sown, rather than a sense of competition or unkind thought or criticism towards you that is not a feature of your own response to loved ones or those you know. There feels like judgment that you've experienced is no longer a part of your visceral experience in relationships. And sure enough, the Ten of Wands indicates this tremendous lifting and removal of a burden that no longer serves you, so that you are releasing that, understanding that your ability to fulfill your obligations, because you're a person of integrity. You mean what you say. You're good as your word. You take pride in your work, in your efforts. So you've done your part. But the perception that you can never do your part or that you don't has been lifted. And I feel like you're receiving the benefit of the release of other people's unkind thoughts. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, the way others see you, the Judgment card. I have to say, everyone is getting the Judgment card. In particular, the day that I'm reading this is on the new moon in Libra, which is in the very last degrees of Libra. Tomorrow, the sun not only moves into Scorpio, but Neptune, ruling planet of Pisces, moves back into its sign of Pisces in retrograde motion. So there is this idea that you are experiencing something you've never experienced before. And it can be, in part, the relief of expectations of you by others that you have psychically carried with you throughout your life. the resentments of others, the even jealousy or envy of others for some aspect of that you have no control over. And so, in many ways, this does feel like an upliftment, an elevation. Your awareness is suddenly expanded in a way that allows you to do more exploration and discovery of your own beliefs, minus the imposition or conditioning beliefs of others. In the first house, this is the perspective that you bring, and it is a rebirth perspective. It is a born again perspective, an idea that you are uh, opening up to a new level of achievement, experience, emotions. You have a new, fresh way of seeing the opportunities that lie before you. This is in part because you've been released, or you have previously released others from this bond of pain that you may have experienced. And that has led to the transformation of those relationships with others who saw you in a way that you felt was very limiting, unfair, dismissive, or belittling in some ways. So this is you really making that physical space for the release of all this energy, all of this attention that has been sucked from you as a result of responding to other people's needs or ideas about who you were. And now letting yourself rest in the relief of that and beginning to experience what the safe travel card describes, this beautiful bird lifting up, lifting out of you, and allowing you to soar, thus to travel to new places. In the fourth house, uh, your home, your soul, your foundation, the lovers. In this instance, I'm feeling very clear about your foundation being in a partnership. This partnership can, of course, be an elevated and improved relationship with yourself, in part as the result of this release of a painful way of being seen, a painful way of viewing those relationships that engaged in that misapprehension about who you were. But it also feels as though there is a real life in real time partnership that honors who you are, that honors your path, and is willing to work with you on those aligned goals that you share. This is beautiful energy. It feels to me that you are not alone in making some of the critical life decisions or being free to share in the exploration of your own consciousness, knowing that you are supported and connected with someone whose needs are similar to yours, but above all, supports you in your efforts, in your growth. In the seventh house, the house of significant others, the Nine of Wands. There's some mistrust here in a relationship. This can be with an individual, a particular individual, and with so much highlight on the existence of people, energy, and emotions from those that may have misunderstood you, believe that you weren't fulfilling their legitimate expectations of you. This leads me to think that there is a particular significant bond that you have worked at for a very long time that has been disrupted in your personal efforts at transformation. So there's a reason in which they perhaps don't trust the you that is showing up for them every day now. They're generally mistrustful, I would say, but you are continuing to work in the way that you always have, which is to clarify the priority of your needs in a way that you know will best impact upon the relationship. As you fill your cup, you become aware that you are better able to support others, understanding and being satisfied in the support that you're receiving. So you're not giving up on a important relationship, but it is one that has been quite a trial, quite a struggle, something you've worked hard at, and it can certainly be a significant partner who is there for you. But there's something new to the way that you now see yourself in your own capacity that may be threatening to this relationship, that may feel challenging as you get clear that you are close to the achievement of some balance, some justice, some truth that you are now understanding is available. I'm going to clarify these cards with the ethereal deck, the shadow work deck, and it's something of a nod to harvest season, a cultural celebration that is celebrated in a variety of ways. Samhain comes to mind because of its connection with Hecate and Halloween energies, this transformation, this harvest energy, the end of summer. We celebrate what we've learned, what we've gathered, what we've gained, what we've produced, as a way of being open to what's new. And what's new feels as though the turning away from the light. In preparation throughout towards winter moss as the return of the light. So this thinning of the veil, this transition between worlds is the defining feature that I feel is highlighted by not only the sun in Scorpio, but Neptune returning to Pisces, one of its planets, one of its signs it rules, uh, on the same day as the sun enters into Scorpio. If this reading is resonating with you, please like this video. Please share this with others. If you feel inclined to do so, subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It is greatly appreciated, all the support that you give me. I'm going to clarify the Death card in the first house with the King of Swords. The King of Swords is describing this way that you can be dispassionate with your feelings, not denial of your feelings, not a bearing of feelings, but a way that you're able to push them aside to see the reality and the truth of this rebirth that you're experiencing. You're fully aware of the attitudes, ideas, even the language that has been used in relationships, particularly those traditional relationships that I feel that you are releasing. And there is a care with how you're moving forward, how you're speaking to yourself, how you're telling your own story to yourself, or how you're allowing for a new narrative to emerge. So there's an attention to the way that you're communicating with others and to yourself in this very delicate time when I do feel that you are expanding and growing. You're moving outward. In the fourth house, the Lover's card is clarified by the King of Cups, another king. Here you are refashioning a significant relationship, making a choice, making a decision on the basis of your maturity. You're understanding what all you've learned throughout what may have been a painful journey of relationships, a fundamental crucible, perhaps, in your family of origin, which is often the case for many of us. It isn't that we were abused, but there were some unbalanced functioning in the family that generated some imbalances. And you have grown through those and learned to balance your own sense of who you are and what you're capable of on the basis of being vulnerable, your sensitivity, your awareness. This is something that is difficult to turn on and off, Cancer. It's one of the reasons why your protection is so essential to you. So your ability to mature through these relationships in your own safe space is key to making balanced decisions with someone or someones who recognize and are deeply connected to you. In the seventh house, the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Three of Pentacles. This feels like collaboration, one in which you are engaging people who may have had different experiences of you from the past, and you are now showing up fully and determined, even passionate about what it is that you see as an opportunity for growth, for abundance. You're happy and willing to work with others on a project, an effort that has been a long-term dream, a long-term goal of yours, something that you've worked towards for a long time. This can be as simple as a family meeting. It can be a counseling session. It can be you taking up a new passion or something that you want to learn, taking a class. So there's a variety of ways that you can collaborate to achieve something that is heartfelt, something you've stumbled on for a while and that has been challenging, difficult, that has damaged you or broken you down in some way. In the 10th house, the Judgment card is clarified by the Four of Swords. Yeah. Ultimately, you have gone through so much of a transformation that you are healed. You are healing. You are needing the space to understand how this healing has occurred and how it's opening you up in a way that you had not expected. There are feelings of gratitude for the very challenges and obstacles that felt damaging and wounding to you along the way. You've come to accept a pattern of yours that is at least in part responsible for the feeling of suffering and pain, a way that you may have isolated yourself and become insular to interactions that could be healing. But you are forgiving yourself. You're understanding that these challenges were purposeful, helped you grow, and you're grateful for those. In fact, you are so grateful for this new sense of freedom you're experiencing that it is something that you want to or need to articulate with others. Something you need to explore through language, through words. Maybe this is apologies given or received. A truth that has been difficult to share with loved ones. You're now in a position to respond to it, to articulate it, to share it. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle and hope that this has been insightful. And I pull the Ancient Wisdom crystal, and the key words are, of course, ancient wisdom. I'm an expression of the powerful ancient wisdom of my soul, It guides me through life. Again, the time of Samhain, of Halloween, of even Thanksgiving is all taking us into that place of uh, our ancestors, our shadows, the ways our shadows are linked to the lives, our past lives and experiences, as well as the past lives and experiences of others in particular who are responsible for creating the opportunities, the very life that many of us experience in the present day. So, thank you, Cancer. If you've enjoyed this content, check out more content here. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. And until next time, namaste.